Hey Libra, thank you for joining me for your past life reading for April 2022. I really appreciate you shares, your subscribes, and I hope the messages resonated. I will see you later on in the month for all signs, solar eclipse reading, and thanks for watching. Welcome to Metaphysics My Perspective. Libra, how's it going? I'm going to do your past life reading for April 2022. So keep in mind this is going to be a sun, moon, and rising. This is for sun, moon, and rising, as well as south node and Venus. So the reason I'm doing south node, or I'm adding south node in these past life equations, because it's basically the south node in your astrological chart has everything to do with your past situations, the things that you the skills and lessons and things like that that you incarnated with in regards to the past life, or past lives rather. Also. Make sure you check your placements, your other placements. That's why I'm telling you this as far as the sun, moon, and rising. And let's see, if you want to book a personal reading with me, just all that information is in the description box. I do appreciate your likes, shares, your comments, especially if it resonates. Let me know which parts resonate. Hopefully you watch long enough to actually see the entire reading. That way you'll get the added messages at the end. Also, I'm going to be doing a solar eclipse all signs reading for this month as well. After I finish the past lives, I only have a few more signs to go, and then I'll be starting on that. So let's get this underway. All right. So what does Libra need to know for past life? What does Libra need to know for past lives? April 2022. What does Libra need to know for past life? April 2022. What are the messages for Libra, past life, April 2022? What are the messages for Libra, past life, April 2022? What are the messages for Libra, past life, April 2022? Alright, Celtic. So Celtic is one of the founding, basically they're one of the founding traditions of Christianity. So when you see see the cross, they were some of the first ones to actually embody the Christianity traits and actually study that type of religion. So that's why you see a cross when it comes to Celtic. Celtic is also home of the Druids and things like that. So basically what that is saying in your reading is that, when this card comes out, it's basically saying to you that if you are attracted to these civilizations, or if you're attracted to this culture, their religions, their belief systems, all that means basically that was one of your lifetimes. And it's basically, imploring you or asking you to look further into that. Now, some people do past life regressions, things like that, which is, actually good. I've never actually had one of those done, but, I've been to many other people that specialize in that. This is one of my specialties as well, in case you do want to, personal. But like I said, I'm reading for the collective, so you can't really hone in on everybody's sign as far in regards to just individual, personal energy. I mean, I'm doing the sign for Libra, but that is for the collective. So, if it doesn't resonate for someone out there, it's going to resonate for some others. It's just the way it goes. It just, that's where with readings like this, you have to basically develop a gift of discernment. That way, you don't allow me to send you messages that program you. This is not about I'm telling you what is law. I'm basically telling you what I'm getting. And so for whichever Libras that are actually paying attention, or cross watchers that are paying attention, that this resonates for, then that means the messages are for you. And I also I watched a video earlier about tarot cards, and they were talking about people why they stop watching them because they connect to astral entities. That's not true at all. It's all about intention. So whenever I connect to the angels, the guides, the people, the higher vibrational energy. I'm not connecting to, lower vibrational energy, anything like that. So whichever ones are tuned into this reading is the frequency that they are on, or the vibrational resonance that they are on, and that's why it will either resonate or it won't. So if it doesn't resonate, it's not your reading. All right. So also when it comes to Celtic, it's just basically saying you need to, you might actually want to visit those. If you have an affinity for castles, or Scottish, Scotland, Scottish, any of those types of those areas, they're all kind of linked together. Druids, even witchcraft or anything, it's, all of that stuff is kind of closely related. At different, some of it's different time frames, some is the same, but it's asking you to, some of you actually may actually be from here, but it's actually asking you if you say you're, for example, if you're from the States and you wonder why you've been in this, it's basically asking you that maybe you should probably try to go there or revisit this place to awaken past life memories. So, and I will read from the book to give you added messages, after I give you what my intuition is telling me. Alright, so that's all I get for that card, and like I said, we'll revisit it. So it's basically going to be a 3-card reading because I don't want this reading to go on forever. Because most people even watch. What I find is that most people, when it comes to the average time frame that people watch, is anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. So for the ones that actually do watch it longer than that or watch the full reading, just consider it a bonus in a way. Put them back in there because I wasn't shuffling. All right, so Libra. What does Libra need to know in regards to past life messages for April 2022? What are the messages? Atlantis. So, a lot of people believe Atlantis is just a fairy tale, but I can tell you it's not. If you have a fear of drowning, if you're someone that, for example, if you like the movie Aquaman, or if you like the new movie like Black Panther 2 that's going to be coming out here in November. It's going to have, I think, Namor or Namir, something like, I don't know his exact name, but basically he's going to be like, kind of the Marvel Aquaman in a way. So if you like movies like that, if you like, water in general, if you like, snorkeling, if you live near the sea, if you live, if you live in places near the sea or near the ocean, and you love it and you can't see yourself living anywhere else, or if you wasn't happy when you was living somewhere else, all that basically tells you that there's a reason for that. And if you are the type to believe in fantasies and get into, if you find yourself liking Edgar Casey, or if you like these types of stories about Atlantis or movies about Atlantis, for me, I know that I was there, not just, and I've had many past life readings, but if you're connected straight to the pyramids, or if you've had people like Lavage, you can tell you that Atlantis isn't real, but it is, or if you have dreams about that, or if you are afraid of drowning, or if you have dreams about sunken cities, it just depends. Depends what resonates with you, but that's basically what's coming through for the collective of Libra. So like I said, it can, what it means to you, please let me know in the comments section. I'd be happy to engage with you, conversate, discuss, things like that. So, what else am I getting? You like dolphins, if you like, just look, and also look at the card. I've moved the camera up closer, that way y'all can see me and actually see more of the cards. Pause the reading. Let me know what you get in regards to that. See what else we get for you. What else does Libra need to know for April 2022 past life messages? What else? What other messages is for Libra past life 2022? What are the messages for Libra past life 2022? So baby. So some of you were a baby during these times, or you, your family that you're with now, for example, you could have, for example, you might be the mother now, but your child actually might have been your mother. But if there's a baby in your life, if some of you Libras are really, really close to your children, or you're the baby of the family, things like that, it's basically just letting you know that your family that you have incarnated with in this lifetime, the roles basically reversed. So you could have been the father, you could have been the mother, you could be the baby. It just switches, and sometimes the genders switch. It could be in any of these traditions, like the person, the baby that you're with now could have been, basically in any of these lifetimes. And you might feel a deep affinity to them, or a deep connection, or there might be some of you actually could have had children that are drowned, are almost drowned, or you have a fear of your children. You know, for example, we say that you're giving your children baths or whatever, and your youngest, you have this deep, fear that that you need to be in there with them, and you don't want them to drown, or you might have a deep fear of keeping them from the ocean or the water or the bathtub, just anything. It could be anything like that in regards to that, because all these phobias, these fears, they come from past lives, and we don't always know where they are. That's why past life regression is a great thing to get done, because then you can find out where it comes from and understand it at a deeper level. And I recommend you do that, Libra. But if you have a child that's close to you, if you, like I said, if you're the baby of the family, if example, like one scenario could be you're close to your mother and both of you like to go to SeaWorld, or you like movies on Atlantis, or it could be the Celtic traditions, or you could live there now, and then you could be Celtic right now and still study that religion and actually have an affinity towards Atlantis. It can manifest in so many different ways, but you got to be open-minded, and you got to kind of use your own discernment, depending on what resonates with you. And that's what discernment is all about. It's don't let me sit here and tell you what it's going to be. Just kind of listen with an open mind, and then if it resonates, it resonates. If it don't, it don't. Then it's not your reading. And I can't stress that enough. You can't just believe anything that anybody says. Some of these readers, they'll have you believe in everything, and then when it don't happen, you be sad or whatever else. So think about that. All right, so I'm going to read from the book just to give you a little more insight in regards to that. So the first card is going to be Celtic. Alright, so Celtic. You drew this card because you have had a significant past lifetime in Celtic lands, and you continue to feel bonded to this culture. Perhaps you lived in or visited, in the Emerald Isle, Scotland, Wales, or England, which is what I was telling you about. If so, you may have a sense of deja vu and be a person who basically adores these cultures. You're also fascinated with Stonehenge and King Arthur's Camelot. So that's what I was saying about witchcraft and all that stuff, because all that stuff is related to that. You may have learned the old religion of Celtic lands, which involved the use of healing herbs and gaining wisdom from oak trees. You could even be an ancient druid in disguise. Your connection to the elemental realms has made you love fairies, elves, and fae. You also respect and love trees, especially oaks and willows. If you haven't already done so, schedule some visits to these ancient sacred sites or areas of the United Kingdom and Ireland. Exploring their stone circles, castles, and spiritual artifacts may trigger additional healing memories. So think about that, and you won't, by doing that, you won't regret it, because it's, if you're like me, you have fascinations towards those other cultures, especially like castles and things like that. I couldn't get enough of that, but sadly I've not been able to travel that much in this lifetime. At least to cultures in that neck of the woods. So 19. Your lifetime in ancient Atlantis is affecting your current situation. You have soul memories of this civilization that offered every imaginable wonder. There is a longing for this utopia, and you unconsciously remember and wish you knew, which you knew is possible in this world. Your soul also remembers the tragic ending of Atlantis, and you may have developed phobias about the ocean as a result. See, I was telling you about the drowning, things like that. Although you love the sea, perhaps you prefer not to go swimming or sailing. You also recall how the majority of Atlanteans were peace-loving, with the exception of a few political leaders. They misused crystal power to the detriment of all. You may be extra sensitive to issues relating to political corruption in this lifetime. And so Libras, that would make a lot of sense, because you are the sign of balance in the scale. So if this is you, like whether you're, it's moon, rising, or whatever, if you're the type that's more of like, trying to expose people and fighting corruption and wanting to see justice for all, then, and that's how I know that I'm in your energy.